Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife Karina from Venezuela. And she got her green card on June 25th, 2024. She had her scary visa interview at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia on November 16th, 2024. 2023! Man, I just added a year. We're not even in November yet. Bud Garcia, good afternoon, Diego and Karina from Washington State. Good. I have good news. Well, we're glad to hear. My fiance got her visa on Friday. Well, because she got her visa on Friday, I'm gonna open up a brand new Mountain Dew, especially for Bud Garcia and his soon-to-be wife from Thailand. If I can get the lid off, a Mountain Dew salute to Bud Garcia and his beautiful bride-to-be from Thailand. And I told you she was going to get her visa, right? I said she was going to get her visa. You just have to have confidence in this process. You got to qualify for the benefit, have confidence in the process, and you'll get your visa. Norman Williams. Hello, Norman. What's going on? How are you and how is your family? And Husama Legrari. Brother, we need your help. Well, that's why we're here, to help you get your visa. What do you need help with? How can I help you? That's why we're here, to give you free advice, to give you information for free, so you don't have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with an immigration attorney. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. I don't work for USCIS. Okay, I don't work for the State Department, but I've got 9 years experience processing green cards successfully. I've got 9 years experience with K1 visas and not student visas, tourist visas. I don't know I couldn't tell you how to process a student visa. I have no idea how to do that. Usama Legrari, our case has been refused and they gave us a 221G. I feel really bad, but I can understand. But wait a second. You remember we was waiting? I feel so bad. What can we do? Okay, what did it say on the 221G? Why was it refused? Are you talking about at the visa? You went to the visa interview, right? What does it say on the 221G that it was refused? What is the reason? And then I will be able to see what I can do. Norman Williams, you've been very helpful. Well, I hope so. I hope so. I can do this K1 visa in my sleep. I can process a green card application from my recliner. Let me see. Kusama Legri. Yes, she said we don't have enough evidence. It is critical. It is very important. It is very, very important that you prove you are in a real relationship with your beneficiary, Mr. Sponsor and Miss Sponsor. You got to have lots and lots and lots of evidence of your relationship. Now, that's going to be pictures together. That's time. How many trips, Osama Legrari, how many times did your sponsor come visit you, or did you go visit your beneficiary in your home country? How many trips was it? I made 5 trips to Colombia to go hang out with Karina, and I ended up living in Colombia for 2.5 years, temporarily. I wasn't, permanent. I got 2 years of evidence of our relationship, 3 years for the green card application. She said she will send away our case to USCIS. We can't do something to stop it. You can reopen the case, Osama Legrari, if you have a ton of evidence showing your relationship. One time, because she have health issues and her daughter have allergies to pine nuts. Yeah, but that's not going to block you from getting a K1 visa. Just don't eat nuts. That's got nothing to do with a K1 visa being a medical reason. That will not block you from getting a visa. Having an allergy to nuts. You got to have evidence of a family relationship. Life as a mom. Life as a mom. I like that name. I'm going to give you a Mountain Dew salute because I like that name. Life as a mom. Good evening, Diego. What's going on? Life as a mom. How's your family doing? Jenny Brielle. Hi, Karina and Diego. Have they slowed down on the approvals for adjustment of status? No. They don't slow down. They just get busy in the summer. In the summertime, they get busy. In the wintertime, it goes a little faster. For some reason, immigration gets lots of green card applications between April and August is when they get the most. Why? I don't know. Osama Legrari, you got to have evidence of your relationship. You got to prove it, okay? You got to prove it. You can't just show up at a visa interview with no evidence of your relationship. Or when you file for the K-1 visa. When you file for the K-1 visa, you have to include stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of evidence of your relationship. Dinner dates, trips together, vacations together, photos with family and friends. With at least 1 year of dating, at least 1 year. I would say with a minimum of 2 trips to go see him or her. That's what you got to do. You got to prove your case. It's when you go in front of an immigration officer, you said you have pictures and everything, but she said it's not enough. Well, then it wasn't enough. You can reapply if it goes to where it gets denied at USCIS. You can reapply. It doesn't mean you can't reapply again, or you could go get married to each other and apply for a spousal visa. You can do that, but you got to prove the relationship. Bud Garcia, I will be giving her time to get everything taken care of before she leaves, so she will be coming at the end of September. There you go. Good idea. That's a long plane ride to Thailand. What is it? 24 hours? What do? You fly from where? You're in Seattle, right? You live in Washington State. I don't know where you're at, but you fly from Washington State to where do you go? To South Korea and then to Thailand? Norman Williams, can you waive an interview? Not for the K-1 visa at the embassy, no. And now, if you submit a fantastic green card application, there's a good chance you won't have another visa interview at the for the green card. It all depends on how strong of a green card application you submit and how much evidence you have of your relationship. When I submitted with Karina, well, Karina submitted it. I helped her with the paperwork. We had 3 years of evidence of our relationship going in applying for the green card. It just wasn't. We didn't submit evidence from when she arrived in the United States on January 3rd, 2024 to when we applied for the green card, February 29th, 2024. We included evidence of our relationship going all the way back 4 years, actually. So no, you can't waive the interview at the embassy, but you may not have to go to a second interview for the green card if you submit a fantastic green card package. Kusama Legrari, what country are you in? Usama Legrari, which country are you in? Where are you at? Let me know what country you're in. The health issues of her daughter is not going to affect her green card application. Having an allergy for something means you don't eat nuts. Okay? If I'm allergic to peanuts, I won't eat peanuts. It's not going to stop me from getting a visa. All right? The Mountain Nomads. Hey, Diego, happy weekend. Thank you. I have been waiting for your live stream because I have some questions I want to ask you. Well, come on, Mountain Nomads. See, Mountain Nomads, that's almost Mountain Dew, right? Mountain Nomads, Mountain Dew salute. Let's see what questions you got. Life as a mom, everybody's good, very good. And Osama Legrari, you was having pictures and everything, but she said it's not enough. Did you have receipts from dinner dates? Did you have any receipts from taking trips together? Did you spend a long time with in I don't know what country you're in? You said you've been talking for a year before she come over. Before she comes over where? Is she still in her home country? Or did you get denied for the green card? What did you get denied for? The K-1 visa at the embassy interview or the green card? So Mountain Nomads. So my fiance lives in Michigan. Okay, Michigan. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Okay, great. And we are in the stage of waiting to hear from the National Visa Center. So you're waiting for the welcome letter, the K-1 FTP letter. After your petition got approved, I am from Morocco. So you're going to go to your visa interview in Casablanca at the embassy in Casablanca. Very good. Life as a mom. Thank you for all your information. I'm currently in the process of waiting on a date to open up in Kingston Embassy. So that's Jamaica. So you're waiting for a slot to open up at the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica, in Kingston, Jamaica. You'll get one. They're open. You'll get a slot. So Osama Legrari, you've been talking for a year before she came over. Where? Come over where? I don't understand. Talking to somebody for a year isn't evidence of a relationship. It's evidence of talking to somebody for a year. Did you have an engagement ceremony? Did you have an engagement party? Do you have pictures with your family and friends at an engagement ceremony in regular street clothes? Did you make trips together? Did you go on vacation together? Have you traveled around whatever country it is you're in together and got proof of evidence of making vacations together? Corinne and I, when I was in Colombia, we went on vacation to Cúcuta, Colombia, which is on the border with Venezuela, because I wanted to go to Venezuela, but they wouldn't let me go to Venezuela because I'm American. So I just put my foot across the line, the border between Colombia and Venezuela. I put my foot across the line. I said, "Hey, I've been Venezuela," and then I pulled my foot back. So before I got arrested. So we went to Cúcuta, Colombia for vacation. We went to Cartagena, Colombia for vacation. We went to Bendita Beach on vacation. We went to Playa Blanca on vacation. We went to Chauchi on vacation. We went for a week in Villa de Leyva in central Colombia. And I had all this evidence of us being together doing stuff and being in a relationship. And it all went in the visa package. Okay? It's putting a K1 visa package together is a lot of work. It's very time consuming. It's a lot of time and a lot of work. Okay? But you can do it. You can do it. Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. It's the final countdown for Francois. The final countdown. Isn't that the name of a movie? Until the big day. Oh, you love that song. It's a song. The final countdown. Right? That's what it is. It's a song. Bud Garcia. So from Seattle to Taipei. Where the heck's Taipei? Is that Taiwan? That sounds like it's in Taiwan. To Bangkok, it takes 19 and a half hours. That's why I don't fly to Thailand. My dad lives in Thailand. He lives in Chiang Mai. He said, "Come over for a vacation." I said, "Dad, you're 24 hours away. I can't even stand sitting down for 2 hours. You want me to sit down for 19 and a half hours on 2 airplanes? It ain't going to happen. 3 airplanes. One from Florida to New York to South Korea to Thailand, to Bangkok, and then Bangkok to Chiang Mai. It ain't going to happen. That's too far for me. Not for Bud, though. Let me see here. Francois Livingston, listen to this, Diego. My fiance went to 2 hospitals within this week to see if he can get vaccines done, and both hospitals were out of vaccines. We'll keep looking for that's ridiculous. What good is a hospital if they don't have freaking vaccinations? What good is a hospital? He's in the United Arab Emirates, right? They should have vaccines somewhere. So now, I don't know what. Keep looking. And then Francois said, so this morning he went to the hospital number 3, and they still didn't have vaccines. But a Good Samaritan hospital employee called the bigger hospital in Abu Dhabi, and he got him an appointment. Francois, that's a Mountain Dew salute. I knew you wouldn't give up. I knew you wouldn't give up. So now you're going to get those vaccines done, right? You're going to get him to work. Get his arms all readied up for those vaccinations, right? Get them ready. The Mountain Nomads. So my question is, my fiance makes $30,700 a year, and the poverty guideline says $25,000. So Diego, do we meet the income requirement since I'm heading to the interview? Are we okay financially? Okay. What's your family size? Mountain Nomads, I need to know, what is your family size? Is it a family size of 2? 3? What's your family size? I'm just curious, because then I can answer the question a lot more accurately. But if you make $30,000 a year, let me see here, $30,000 a year, 30,700. You got to make 25,550 for a family of two for the K-1 visa and for the green card. For a family of two for the embassy interview, you got to make, okay, family of two. So you got to make 21,000, let's say, for the embassy interview. So you're going to pass the embassy interview. You got to make 25,550, okay, for the green card. You make 30,700. You should be okay. You should be okay. I don't see, you're going to get through the visa interview without any problems, but you got to prove this income. Tax returns, pay stubs, bank statements, direct deposits, etc. Okay? Mountain nomads. No, you 30,000, 31,000, you're close to 31,000, you got to make 25. You're about $4,500 above, close to $5,000 above. If you want to have a joint sponsor as backup, just in case, you can do that. But you'll get through the visa interview without a problem at the embassy. Francois Livingston. So this morning you went to the hospital number 3, but you're getting them on a roll now, right? You're going to get those vaccinations started. The Mountain Nomads, and she doesn't have that amount in her bank, but that is what she makes annually working full time. Is 30,700. Is it good? Yes. For the visa interview, that's fine. You got to make $20,440. You make 30,700. You're 10,700 over the minimum for the visa interview. But I would be looking perhaps at getting a joint sponsor for the green card application, because you're only going to be about $4,000 to $5,000 above the minimum for the green card. All right. I recommend getting a joint sponsor for the green card application, but don't worry about the visa interview. You're going to pass the visa interview. And Francois says, Hamid has his vaccination appointment Monday. Good job. And Life as a Mom said, yeah, everybody's good. Let me see. Bud Garcia, yes, it is in Taiwan. Taiwan. I thought Taipei was in Taiwan. I will be flying on the 26th until the 29th of September. Good. That's good. You're going to get to accompany her back to the United States. Now, don't forget, Bud Garcia, when you get back to America, you go to the U.S. citizenship line. When you arrive in immigration and all those planes are landing from all those other countries, and there's 1 million people going to immigration, to green card holder lane and everything else, go to the U.S. citizenship line with your prometida. Okay? Tammy, hello, Diego. Do you know what's the processing time after submitting medical on a 221G to be processed in Jamaica? It's a couple of weeks after that. The last vaccination was submitted to the medical center in Kingston on July 1st. You should be hearing pretty soon. It's not slow. It's a pretty quick turnaround. As long as you got to make sure the hospital submitted the paperwork to the embassy. That's where things get kind of slowed up in Jamaica, because the doctor that's been authorized by the State Department isn't the fastest working person in Jamaica. They're not fast, okay? You got to get on them. You got to go and get on there and keep telling them, hey, did you submit my paperwork, okay? The last vaccination was submitted to the medical center at Kingston July 1st. I would be contacting the hospital, the medical center, and ask them, what's the status? Did you send it to the embassy? Because they got my passport. Say something like that. Francois Livingston, yesterday my fiance received an original certified birth certificate and a school certificate from Morocco. He already sent me screenshots, and off they go to the Spanish group. Get it done. Because your fiance, Hamid's visa interview September, right? September, what, 6th? 7th, September 18th. Karina said it's on the 18th of September. Family member of 2. Okay, so you're a family of 2 mountain nomads. You got to make 20,000, 21,000 for the visa interview. You're going to pass the visa interview with the money part of it. You got to make 25,550 just to qualify for the green card at 125%. But my rule of thumb is you want to be $5,000 above that. So you want to be at 30,500, somewhere like that. 25, 30. Yeah, you're good with the income. But I would get a backup joint sponsor just in case. Just in case. For the green card application, not for the visa interview. You're good for the visa interview. Francois Livingston, I have been stressing to Hammond every day how September will be before we know it. We'll be here before we know it. Yes, it will. September will be here. October, November, and then it's Christmas. And then it's Christmas. It's going to be here before you know it. And then we're going to be freezing cold and not boiling like lobsters. And where we are right now, we're like hot because it's Florida. It's 82 degrees out there. But in December, it's going to be like 40 degrees. So Karina likes the cold weather. She got used to cold weather in Bogota. Tammy, we had to do Hep B vaccine outside the hospital and also COVID, mandatory COVID especially, then submit the proof back to the hospital to send it over to the embassy, which was July 1st. Well, it's July 20th. You need to be getting in. You need to go to the medical center in person, face to face, and say, hey, what the heck's the status of my medical vaccines? Because the embassy's got my passport and they're waiting on you to get my information to them. That doctor in Jamaica is like a tortoise. It's like the tortoise and the hare, okay? He's slow. Life as a mom. Question, what is it for a family of 3 plus my spouse? A family of 3 is plus your spouse is a family of 4. Okay? A family, if you said the question is, what is it for a family of 3 plus my spouse? So that's a family of 4. If you are a family of 4, to qualify for income at the visa interview, you got to make at least $32,000 a year. When you apply for the green card, a family of 4 needs to make $39,000, which is 125%. So you want to add $5,000 on top of that. So you want to make at least $44,000 or $45,000 a year for the green card application. You want to make at least $33,000, $34,000 a year to get through the visa interview. Okay? Life as a mom, you want to make at least $44,000 to $45,000 a year to qualify for the green card. Even though it says $39,000, that's the cutoff. That's the minimum. That's like, you know, that's the bare minimum. Immigration's not looking for bare minimum. Okay? They're looking for about $4,000 to $5,000 over the bare minimum. So you want to make at least $45,000 a year for a family of 4. The Mountain Nomad. Thank you so much, Diego. That relaxes me so much. You are the best. Mountain Nomad, you're good. You're going to get through the visa interview. The income is perfectly fine for the interview at the embassy. And it's good also for the green card. But I would get a joint sponsor as a backup, just in case immigration officer says they want to see a little bit more income. All right? But you're a family of 2. It's no big deal. You're going to be good. We got commercials running. I don't know if you can hear me, so I'm going to keep talking anyway. Francois Livingston, weeks ago, I took a chance and requested 2023 New York tax transcripts, and guess what? I got them yesterday. Well, look at you, Francois. That's a Mountain Dew salute right there. You're top of the class every day. Francois is top of the class, guys. You are top of the class. And you got your New York tax transcripts. Well, you know what? That's part of the problem of living in New York State. You got to pay taxes to the freaking government in New York State. In Florida, we don't. We don't pay taxes to the government here. Just to Biden. We pay federal taxes, right? So Biden can go on vacation, but we don't pay for any state taxes. But good job, Francois. And I called the IRS and requested 2023 federal tax transcripts too. And Francois goes on to say, you're right, Karina. The interview is September 18th. 18. Karina remembers. Tammy, we call and can't seem to get any confirmation over the phone that they sent it to medical. No, go face to face. Go to the medical center in Kingston. They told us it can take 10 days. 10 days, it's been longer than 10 days. But there's no way to know for sure if they did. Tammy, go to the medical center in Kingston. I told this to people back in the past. Back in the past, I don't know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, there was a person having the same issue as you. So I told the person, go to the health center in Kingston, Jamaica, in person, and say, hey, the U.S. Embassy has got my freaking passport, and they're just waiting on you to send them my medical results for this 221G so that I can get my visa. Go in person. Trying to call these people is like trying to call the, I don't know. It's like trying to get money back from the IRS. If they owe you money, it's like impossible to get back, right? Just, you got to fight for it. Francois Livingston, before I forget, I am taking your advice and I'm making plans to fly to Morocco. There you go. Going to give him time with his family. There you go. And I plan to fly to Morocco, meet his parents, and then we'll fly to the United States together. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, Francois, don't forget. Get lots of pictures together with his family and with him and his friends. Group pictures, 10, 15 of them. Group pictures with family and friends, and include those when you apply for the green card. And then you get to accompany him through U.S. immigration with the Border Patrol, okay? So it's going to go a lot smoother because he can walk through the U.S. citizenship line with you when you land in the United States. Francois, already looking at flights and hotels, but won't book anything until he has his passport back from the embassy in Abu Dhabi. That's correct. Do not buy any plane tickets. If you're a beneficiary, if you're going to your visa interview in Bogota, Colombia, okay, and your visa interview in Bogota, Colombia is next month, don't be buying plane tickets to fly to the United States until you have your K1 visa in your passport and that you checked it and there's no errors in the name. There's no mistakes, okay? And you don't get a 221G or something happens, okay? You don't do anything. You do not buy plane tickets, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, until your beneficiary has his or her K1 visa in his or her passport. That's a number one rule in this whole process in buying in making travel plans, okay? And when you fill out the DS-160, they ask you when you're going to be flying to the United States. Well, you don't know because you haven't had your K1 visa interview yet. So you don't know. So you know the visa interview. Let's go with Francois as an example. Francois knows the visa interview is September 18th. So she's going to say October or November as an estimated date to fly to the United States. Okay? You just got to give a 30-day window of time past the K1 visa interview. Life as a mom. Sorry, Diego, you talked to family of 4 again. I'm writing it down. Okay, you said you're a family of 3 and a spouse. That's 4 people. How many people are in your family? It's you, right? Your husband, and how many kids? 2 kids, right? Am I right? Life as a mom. I'm trying to make sure because you don't want to mess up the paperwork for the I-864. When you file for the affidavit of support, you got to make sure the family size is correct. Okay? There's 9 times out of 10, the errors that people make with their green card application is they mess up the affidavit of support, the form I-864. Right here, I'll write it down right here. This form right here, okay, that's the affidavit of support. You got to get the family size correct when you apply for the green card. So it's husband, wife, and 2 kids, that's a family of 4. If it's husband and wife, that's a family of 2. If it's a husband and wife and 1 kid, that's a husband, wife, and 1 kid, that's a family of 3. Okay? Don't mess up. So yeah, you said yes. So you're a family of 4, right? Family of 4, all right. 2 kids, husband and wife is a family of 4. Francois, I learned all this in class right here on this channel. There you go. So Francois has her K1 visa appointment scheduled with her soon-to-be husband, Hamid, on September 18th in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. And I remember when Francois was going through all this stress, but she got through it. Bud Garcia, when should I start the adjustment of status paperwork? What forms do I need to start on first? First, get a social security number. Get a printout of the I-94. Make a photocopy, blown-up copy of your passport, biographic page. Make a blown-up copy of her biographic page of her Thailand passport, Thai passport. You got to have proof. Make copies of all the boarding passes and the plane tickets that you travel back and forth to Thailand. Keep copies of all the hotel receipts when you were in Thailand. Keep copies of all the dinner receipts when you were having lunch and dinner with her in Thailand. You got to prove a relationship for the green card, bud. You got to prove the relationship. If you submit a green card application with just a marriage certificate, a couple of pictures, the 485, the 864, and the 693, you're going to get a big RFE. That's not how you apply for a green card. You apply for a green card with a volume of evidence of your relationship, going back to when you first started dating. Okay? You can include stuff in your green card application from when you first started dating each other. When Karina filed for her green card, we had pictures from 2021, 2022, 2023, and we took a bunch of pictures in 2024, and then we included wedding pictures. We had a group wedding pictures with all of our family and friends. This must have been, I don't know, 50 people. And I had to figure out who they were. I had to remember who their names were because they only show up for Christmas and weddings and stuff like that. So let me see. When should you start processing your paperwork, Bud Garcia? When you have a big green card application package filled out. Francois, Sunday Hardy's, that would be tomorrow. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you, Francois. That's a Hardy's breakfast tomorrow for sure. I'm telling you, Mountain Dew salute to Francois. You help keep the channel alive, Francois. You keep the channel going with those super chats. So, Bud Garcia, when you apply for the green card, you want to do it after about 40, 50 days. In the 40 or 50 days, you want to put your new Thai wife on your bank account. Joint bank statements. You want to put her on the electric bill, the water bill, the gas bill, the title to your car or motorcycle or RV, the deed to your house or to the apartment that you rent or the townhouse. Or if you live in an RV, put her on the title to the RV. You got to include all this evidence of joint co-ownership, co-mingling of funds, joint bank account statements, your last tax return, your W-2s, your 1099s if you're self-employed. When you apply for a green card, you got to prove a strong, long-lasting relationship with co-mingling of funds and cohabitation of living together. And it takes about 50 days to do that. Because when you put your beneficiary's name on the trash bill and the water bill and the electric bill and the phone bill and the homeowners association, you got to wait for all those bills to come in with her name on it. Karina's name is on the trash bill. It's on the water bill, the sewer bill. We included those bills in the green card application. Francois, another super chat from Francois. Thank you, Francois. Francois says, thank you for everything. Hamid and I are at this point, thanks to you and Karina. We guided you, Francois. Mount Dew salute. We guided you through the process because it's a complicated process. It's a frustrating process. And some embassies do things differently from other embassies. Some embassies make you pay in advance for the visa consular interview. Some make you pay in cash at the embassy on the day, biometrics, etc., etc. So I try to help you, guide you guys and ladies and gentlemen through 160 countries watching the channel. There's 160 countries watch the channel. Not everybody jumps on the live stream. Lots of people in Australia and the Philippines, they're in bed right now, or they're just getting up. They're just waking up because of the time zones. So they watch the live stream like tomorrow or in the night or another time, not right now. But people watch the live streams, and there's over 160 countries that watch us. How do I know that? It shows up on the analytics. When I look at the analytics of the channel, I see what countries people are watching from. Okay. Francois Livingston. I put September 23rd on the DS160. That was before scheduling the interview. Will that be an issue? No, you're good, Francois. That date really is irrelevant. I'm still stressing, but different kinds of stress, Francois. That date on the DS160 when Hamid's going to fly to the USA is subject to change. Okay, immigration know that. They know that it's subject to change. People don't. You don't know. When you submit the DS160, you don't know when you're going to be able to fly to the United States. So you get an estimated date, which is usually 30 to 60 days past the date of the visa interview that you just scheduled. Bud Garcia. So I might be able to have her on my taxes. Not in 2024. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a CPA. Yeah, for 2024, yeah. You can put her on your taxes. When you file your taxes in 2025, okay, you can put her on her taxes, on your tax as a joint tax return. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't because I was in Colombia pretty much the whole year. 2023, I was in Colombia pretty much the whole year. And we got married in 2024. We got married January 14th, 2024. So I couldn't claim Karina on my taxes for 2023. Number one, we weren't married. We were living together. So I couldn't do it. But you're going to get married in 2024. You're going to be in a relationship starting in the United States in 2024. So Bud Garcia, you can claim your future bride on your taxes in 2025 for 2024. Yes, you can. So you basically probably just saved yourself, I don't know, a ton of money right here on this channel. That's why you're here. So you can learn how to do this stuff without having to pay an immigration attorney. An immigration attorney will charge you $4,000 or $5,000 to give you this information I put out for free. Okay. And Francois, we appreciate those 2 super chats. Definitely Hardee's for breakfast tomorrow. Karina likes the Hardee's big breakfast with sausage. Okay. She likes that. And I like the Mountain Dew. So I might have them leftovers for a couple of Mountain Dews. You guys are on this channel to get this information for free. And I'm going to help you. I want to tell you how to do this. Bud Garcia, and that would be good for evidence, right? With the other stuff. Well, you're not going to, listen up, Bud. You're going to get married this year. You're not going to file for the green card in 2025. Okay? You're not filing for the green card in 2025. You're going to file your taxes either in January, February, March, or April of 2025. Right? Your soon-to-be Thai wife will already have her green card by then. You used your tax return for 2025 for your 10-year green card. When you apply for the 10-year green card, that's where you use the 2024 tax return for the 10-year green card application, the 2024 and the 2025 tax return. Now remember, when you get your 2-year green card, you do not renew your 2-year green card. You do not renew it. There is no such thing as a green card renewal for a 2-year green card. Your 2-year green card is good for 2 years, and then it doesn't exist anymore. It gets terminated. What you do is you lift the conditions off of the 2-year green card and apply for a 10-year. You are not renewing the 2-year green card. You are lifting the conditions on the 2-year green card, and you are applying for the 10-year green card. When your 10-year green card expires, then you renew your 10-year green card. But my advice is to become a U.S. citizen before you get to that point. You could become a U.S. citizen, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary. 3 years, you can apply for citizenship. 3 years from the issue date of your 2-year green card. So if your 2-year green card, like Karina's 2-year green card was issued June of 2024. So 2024 to 2025, 2025, 20. So June minus 3 months, she can in 2027, she can apply for U.S. citizenship. That's what we're going to do. Then we don't have to mess with this immigration stuff anymore, just like you guys. Bud Garcia, you can claim your wife on your 2023, your 24 tax return, but you can't use the paperwork as evidence until you're applying for the 10-year green card. Craig Williams, hello, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Craig? Congratulations on your green card. Benediction para ti. We applied on January 29th, and we still are waiting. Okay? You should be hearing something by now. You applied January 29th, so let's say February, March, April, May, June, July. That's 6 months. That's too long. You should be hearing any day. But it is the summer, and it is a little bit slower in the summer months. Okay? Did your green card application go to Chicago, Illinois, or Phoenix, Arizona, or Texas, or Elgin, Illinois? I think it went to Chicago, right? Joshua Mupenzi, hi Diego and Karina, you look great. Well, Karina always looks great, and she's good. We're good. Francois, Diego, why do you suppose the embassy said on paper cash for the interview fee, but had two choices? Because the embassies around the world, okay, are still working in the 1980s. They haven't reached the 21st century yet, okay? It's like you're watching a rerun of the Dukes and Hazzard. You go to lots of these embassy websites, and they still got information posted on there about COVID that doesn't apply anymore, okay? Embassies, remember, it's a U.S. government function, so they're inherently lazy. You know, I'm not saying everybody's lazy who works for the government, because I was in the Navy. I was in the Navy for 20 years, and I wasn't lazy by any means. But there's a lot of lazy people in the government, U.S. government. They just do it when they get to it. So, Francois, why does it say two choices? They give you the option for the credit card, and then they say, they give you an option for cash. Well, they said you got to pay cash, right, at the embassy, but you can pay with the credit card. They got to update their website. That's all. But good luck with waiting on them to do that. Joshua Mupenzi, it's now 30 days since my case was sent to the National Visa Center. Okay, no response yet. What should I do? Wait. They have been speeding up. It takes about 2 to 3 months to get a response from the National Visa Center. 2 months is about average, and 3 months when they get busy. You've only been waiting for 30 days. At the 45-day mark, send an inquiry to the NVC and check in. Do it in 45 days. At the 45-day mark, send an NVC inquiry and say, hey, this is Joshua, just checking in. What's the status of my case? Put the receipt number from your NOA2 letter in the subject of the NVC inquiry so they can find your case really quickly. When you send emails to the U.S. embassies around the world, if you're inquiring about your case, put the receipt number of your NOA2 letter in the subject line of your case. So let's suppose when I send an email to the embassy in Bogota, Colombia, I put in the subject line Karina's NOA2 number, the receipt number from the NOA2 letter, her full name, okay, and her date of birth. That went in the subject line. So when they get the email, they don't even have to open up the email. They can open up the case right away from the receipt number. And then they can read my email, and I'm looking at what's going on, what's the status, blah, blah, blah. And then they responded back to me within a couple of days. But if you don't include the receipt number from the NOA2 letter in the subject line of any correspondence with the NVC or the embassy, it's going to slow down the response time from the embassy and from the NVC. It's going to slow it down, if they even bother to respond to you. Joshua, thank you. Okay, no problem. Craig Williams, we sent it to Chicago. So you sent it to the 3rd floor in Chicago. You did the biometrics. Okay, so you're good. Got the work permit, but not the green card. You're good. Craig, so what's happening with your case is they're busy. You got your work permit. I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute. You got your work permit, okay? You're good. Now, the work permit, if you look on the front of it, it probably expires in 2029, right? The work permit expires in 2029, right? So you can at least get to work while you wait for the green card to get processed. They're just really busy. In the summer, it's always the same every year. Every summer, they're busy, busy, busy. And then it starts to speed up again around September, October. Joshua Mupenzi, I enjoy watching you both live on our channel. This is your YouTube channel. That's right, Joshua. This is your channel, guys. It's all for you. All right? This is all about you guys. I know how to do this already. I've done. Karina's right here. She's just happy as a, we're just going about our daily lives, and we're just planning on her 10-year green card. We're collecting the evidence for her 10-year green card. You don't stop collecting evidence. When you come to the United States, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, and you go on vacation with your husband or wife, you go on vacation. I would take Karina to Nevada. I'll take her to Las Vegas. I'm going to keep the boarding passes of the vacation. I'm going to keep the hotel receipts of the vacation and the dinner dates we go on. And I'm going to take lots of pictures in Las Vegas with Karina. Okay? That's going to go in her application for her 10-year green card. It's 2 years away, right? But you got to plan, and you got to plan. This process doesn't end until you become a U.S. citizen. When you become a U.S. citizen, you get your U.S. passport, then you're done with immigration. Then they're not going to mess with you anymore. You got it? You come to America, you get married, you get your 2-year green card in your hand, and then you keep the evidence, you keep collecting the evidence of your trips, your dinner dates, birthdays, Christmases together with family and friends, pictures. And you collect all that evidence, and you get it ready for the 10-year green card. Craig, you're good, Craig. You're just in the summer month syndrome. You're in the summer doldrums of slowness, okay? But you're going to get your green card. And Karina's not keeping me in check. Francois, this is off subject. Yesterday was fun at work with the Microsoft global outage issue. That kind of was, luckily it was only an hour delay on surgeries. Let me tell you something. The president of that company is one person. So you got one person who's the president of that company that controls the entire world through Microsoft. One person. How scared are you that you know that the global, that the hospitals, imagine if you were, imagine this. Imagine if I was in Colombia with Karina and we had bought plane tickets on American Airlines to fly to Miami. American Airlines shut down all their flights. Delta Airlines shut down all their flights. Lucky for us, we fly Avianca. In Colombia, we fly Avianca. We had plane tickets with Avianca to the United States. It wouldn't have affected us. But American Airlines and Delta Airlines and United Airlines and Southwest, I think, I don't know, they all shut down. They closed up shop because of one person who controls the global computer network. Elon Musk, you know what he did? He got out of there. He said, I'm not going to put my company at risk with this one person that controls Microsoft electric computers. That was scary, guys. That was scary. So, Francois, that was scary. And then hospitals shut down. They couldn't conduct surgeries in hospitals. That's insane. That's a good point to bring up, Francois. Craig Williams, you're welcome. Thank you. Esteban Acosta. Hey, Diego, how long does it take to hear back from Chicago? Right now, it's looking like 5 to 6 months. I got mixed answers. Been almost 30 days and haven't been notified that they received it. Also, lots of rain today in Navarre. It was raining here, too, in Santa Rosa County. It's a crazy, crazy weather. It's taking 5 to 6 months right now to process green cards out of Chicago. They're busy. It's summer. For some reason, they get inundated with green card applications in the summer months. You'll get it, Esteban. Walid Salah. Walid Salah. Apologies if I messed your name up. Walid Salah. Hi, Diego. How are you? We're good. My interview is going to be on August 11th. That's a Mountain Dew salute. August 11th. I'm in the same-sex relationship. It don't matter. I'm afraid to get a refund. What? I'm afraid to get a refund, although I have known my fiance for 6 years and we've been in a relationship. What do you mean a refund? You're not, you can't, how do you mean you're going to get a refund? A refund of what? Mountain Dew salute. The U.S. government doesn't discriminate against anybody. Okay? The U.S. government doesn't discriminate against who you are, who you want to marry. It's your decision. All right? This channel doesn't discriminate against anybody about who you want to marry. Oh, refuse. No, you're not going to get refused, Wiley. You're good. You're good to go. You got the evidence, right, of your relationship. Your interview is on August 11th. What country, by the way? You're afraid to get a refusal, even though you've known your fiance for 6 years and you have a genuine, yeah, you're good. You'll get your K1 visa. Relax, man. Or is it young lady? I don't know. Craig Williams, I believe it's good for 5 years. Yeah, that's right. Your work permit's good for 5 years. It expires in 2029. My wife, Toy, is a little frustrated because she has friends who got their green cards faster and applied after her. Thank you for the confidence. It helps. Craig, your wife's going to get her green card. Okay? And you cannot compare other green card applications to yours. Everybody's green card application is different. Okay, my green card application, well, Karina's green card application for Karina was different from yours. It's different from everybody's different. Treat everybody's K1 visa application and green card application should be treated like DNA or fingerprints. Everybody has individual DNA and individual fingerprints. Everybody's K1 visa and green card application is individual. They're unique. Okay? Wiley, you're in Egypt. I've been to Egypt 4 times. I loved it. I went to Egypt 4 times. I went inside the big pyramid. I can't remember, is it the Cheops? I went inside this pyramid. I went down. I went this way and I'm down. I'm like, man, this isn't a. I said, who the heck built these? Who built the pyramids? Honestly, I don't see who built those pyramids. I don't see how a human being could build those pyramids. Those blocks that built the pyramid. I was up close to one of those pyramid blocks, and it was like together like this. It's people couldn't have built those things. I've seen them up close. I've touched them. I climbed up the side, and then there's some security guy from the Egyptian antiquities, whatever, yelled at me to get off the pyramid. I said, dude, I'm going to climb it. I've never been on. I'm climbing the pyramid. I want to check it out. He said, I can't do that. So I had to get off the pyramid. But I tell you what, human beings couldn't build those things. Just from my opinion. Waleed, you're going to get your K1 visa approved. Relax. As long as you got all this evidence of your relationship. Craig Williams, yes, the work permit's good for 5 years. And she's going to get her green card. Tell her to relax. Let me see. Francois, on Thursday, I sent an email out to the wedding ceremony officiant and updated him on things. Print that email and get it to and bring it to get it to Hamid for his visa interview. Okay, just give him a week heads up, and he will be there. Print that email and get it and copy and email it to your fiance in the UAE. Esteban, sorry for duplicate questions. You're good. Esteban, that's why we're here. We're here for you guys to answer your questions. That's why we're here. I mean, I could do other things right now. I could be out cutting the grass, but I want to help you guys. MB, hello, Diego and Karina. After the marriage ceremony, what's next? What's next? You get a copy of the marriage certificate. You get a copy of the Form I-94. You make copies of your biographic pages of your passports, the sponsor and the beneficiary and any children. You get lots and lots of wedding pictures. Make sure when you have a marriage ceremony, you get lots of pictures with family and friends in the marriage ceremony, because you're going to need those for the green card application. You're going to get a social security number. You're going to get joint bank accounts. You're going to start the process for the green card application. MB, you got it? But I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute and congratulations for getting this far in the process, because it's not easy, right? The K1 visa process, the paperwork is easy to do, as long as you don't make any mistakes or typos. Okay, don't make any typos. And when you file for the 10-year green card, make sure that the dates and all your timelines are equal to when you applied for the 2-year green card. All right. MB, got it. Thanks. There you go. MB, get your green card. Start getting ready the paperwork for the green card. The 485, the 864. Repeat the medical exam. Get your vaccinations recertified. Repeat the medical exam. Okay. When Karina got to America, she had her medical exam at the embassy in Bogota, Colombia. When we got to the United States, we repeated the medical exam with the doctor in Pensacola, Florida. Okay. We repeated it. It was $175. It wasn't that much money, but we repeated the medical exam by a civil surgeon authorized to do medical exams for green cards. And that went into the green card application. Walid, thank you, Diego. And congratulations for Karina's green card. There you go. You're going to get yours too. I remember in Egypt, it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was walking along the pier in Alexandria. It's like a concrete pier thing, and the Mediterranean Sea's over here. And I was eating all this street food. They were cooking a corn on the cob under this grill. I remember it was like in 1991. I went to Egypt in 1990, 1991, and twice in 1992. And I went inside the pyramids. I went inside the Cairo Museum. I saw Tutankhamun's tomb. It was great. I loved it in Egypt. I got some papyrus back here and I got a plate from Giza. It's hanging on. It was hanging on the wall. It's not anymore, but I got it. Craig, just a tip for your viewers. This is your channel, guys. In New Jersey, it helps to bring a bank statement, social security card, passport, and marriage license to get a driver's permit. But there you go. And a marriage certificate. There you go. In Florida, in order to get a driver's permit, you got to have a driver's license and a social security card. And I would say bring the passport too and the marriage certificate, because we're in this Real ID now. Real ID. You got to prove who you are to get a driver's license now, because you can use a driver's license to get on an airplane. And if you can get on an airplane with the driver's license, the immigration better know who the heck you are when you're getting on that plane. So it's called Real ID. Craig Williams, the work permit is also a good ID for motor vehicle. Not really. It's only good. It's a temporary. The work permit's only temporary because your social security number is only good for 90 days. Okay. When you get to America, you get your social security number. It's only good for 90 days. So just wait till you get your green card before you get your driver's permit. Devil Dog Z, can you share the link on your can you share the link for sure having to have a social security number for a marriage license in Ohio? Okay, here's the list. If you live, this is the list of states that require a social security number. Okay. There are 12 states that require a social security number to get married, and I printed this off of a website, and here they are. There you go. And in West Virginia, you got to have your parents' names too. So if you apply for a social security number, a marriage license, a marriage certificate, you got in West Virginia. You got to prove your parents, but you got to prove who your parents are too. Good. Devil Dog Z, you can watch the video I made on the 12 states that require a social security number to get married, or you can Google it yourself. Google it. If you don't want to watch the video, that's fine. Go into the Google and Google states that require a social security number to get married. And boom, there you go. It will pop up those 12 states. And Ohio is on that list. Okay? It's on the list. That's just the rules in Ohio. So you can figure it out, Devil Dog Z. It's very easy to do, or you can watch the video. No, I watched it. I was just wanting to read it as well. Well, here you go. If you want to read it, there it is. How about that? 12 states that require a social security number to get married. I printed it off the computer. Sophia's_Jim. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Sending my adjustment of status packet. Do I need to submit an I-693 medical with the I-485? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you submit your green card application without a 693 and your vaccination's recertified, you're going to get an RFE, and it's going to slow down your green card application by 2 or 3 months. So here's what Sophia's Jam. This is what you need to do. I don't know where you live in America, but wherever it is you live, you need to find a civil surgeon authorized by the U.S. State Department to give green card medical exams. Find that doctor, set an appointment, have that doctor recertify your vaccinations from the ones you submitted at the embassy interview to the doctor there, and recertify and get a brand new 693 medical exam completed with a recertification of your vaccinations. If you don't do that, your green card process will slow down significantly. 3 months, maybe. So, wherever you live, and if you need help, Sophia's Gym, if you want me to find a civil surgeon for you authorized to give medical exams for green card holders, just tell me what state you live in, and I will find a doctor for you. But it's not hard to do. So the question is, good evening, Diego and Karina, sending in my adjustment of status packet. Not yet, you're not. No, you're not. Not yet. Not without the 693 and the recertification of your vaccinations. If you send it in without it, you're going to get a request for further evidence, and you're going to slow your case down significantly. Couple of months. So you learned a lot of stuff today, right, guys? You're learning how much money you're supposed to make to qualify. You're learning about recertification of medical exams. You're learning how to, prepare for the 2-year green card, the 10-year green card. Now, you're welcome, Sophia's Gym. You must find a civil surgeon in wherever you live. I don't know where you live, but wherever you live, go into Google and Google civil surgeon, USCIS, and the name of the town and the state where you live. Then you'll find a doctor. And then you set an appointment and redo the medical exam, which takes maybe 2 hours, an hour at the most. And then you get a recertified 693. They put it in a sealed envelope. They seal it for Homeland Security use only. And you include it in your green card application. And then you don't get an RFE, and your green card processes is quick. Tina Phoebe Umakuro. Hello, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Tina? We have completed our I-129F packet. Congratulations. It is 16 pages or 160 pages. You've completed it's 160 pages. How do we package it? You get document protectors. I don't know if I have any right here. Maybe I do. I don't have any right now. Go to Office Depot and get document protectors and a binder. Get one of those binders. Print a pretty picture of you with your, with your sponsor. Print it nice and big. Put it in the front of the binder. The binder you can buy from Office Depot. Get some document protectors and start sliding all those documents into document protectors. And then you send it by FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Do not mail your K-1 visa application to Louisville, Texas by the U.S. Postal Service. Send it via FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Trust me, so you can track it. I have more faith in a private company that's making a profit than with the U.S. Postal Service that is losing money by the day. Okay? Use FedEx or somebody like that. Do we use clip binders? No. Do not use clip binders. If you put it into document protectors. Don't use clip binders. Don't staple anything. And what's the address to send it to? Well, I don't know where you are. Where do you live? What state do you live in, Phoebe? If you tell me what state you live in, I will tell you where to ship your green card application. Okay? Excuse me. Your K1 visa. It's Louisville, Texas. What address do we send it to? If you're filing your I-129F, you send it to Louisville, Texas. Okay? I don't have the address of that right here. I don't have that. But it goes to Louisville, Texas. And on the next live stream, I'll give you the address. So I don't have it with me right now. But it goes to Louisville, Texas. Okay? Don't mail it. Go over your I-129F package. Make sure you didn't make any typos with the spelling mistakes on the name, on the passport numbers, the date of birth. You didn't transpose any numbers. Go over your I-129F packet 10 times before you send it. And on the next live stream, which is, what's today, Saturday? So Monday, I'll give you the address where to send it. Okay? And you're going to send it by FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Sit on your package for a couple of days. Go over it carefully. Make sure you didn't make any mistakes. Make sure you didn't exclude anything. Make sure you got the birth certificate of the beneficiary translated into English. Make sure you got everything in order, okay? Go to Office Depot, buy a binder, get some document protectors. Do not staple anything. Do not use any binders or clip binders. Do not use those. It slows down the processing time. Craig Williams, just curious, how is Karina adjusting to life in America? She loves it. She loves America. What does she think of things? ¿Te gusta?
Sí.
Pregunta para ti, ¿te extraño Colombia?
Yo sí.
¿Te extrañas?
Las montañas.
She misses the mountains in the cold weather because it's hot in Florida, but she misses the mountains. Okay.
Montañas.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing. That's it. And the cooler weather, because we remember Bogota, Colombia is 10,300 feet above sea level, so we were at 60 degrees all year round. Bogota, Colombia doesn't have any seasons. They don't have any climate. It's either raining, cold, or sunny. That's it. There's no climate there. It's on the equator pretty much. It's close to the equator anyway. But she misses the mountains. Francois, this week I sent an email to the National Visa Center for the invoice number, and I saw they deleted my message without reading it. Send it again. Send it again. But here's the thing, Francois, you don't need the invoice number. You've already scheduled the visa interview for September 18th, right? Francois, listen. You've already scheduled the visa interview for September 18th in the United Arab Emirates for Hamid, right? You didn't need an invoice number, so the NVC deleted your email because it's irrelevant. Okay? So I'm going to give you a Mountain Dew salute for sending an irrelevant email, even though I told you to do it. You're following my directions. You're following my directions, but you don't need it. You don't need the invoice number. You got it. You did set the interview already. So don't worry about it. James McLean, hello Diego. Do I send only my most recent divorce certificate or all my prior divorce certificates with my I-129F? James McLean, if you've been divorced 3 times, you've got to get 3 certified copies of your 3 divorce decrees, and they must be included in your K1 visa application. If you do not include them, you're either going to get a denial or an RFE. Okay? So, you cannot send photocopies of your divorce decree. You must go to the courthouse and you go to the clerk of the court or the administrative assistant and say, hey, I would like to get a certified copy of my divorce decrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, however many, right? The clerk of the court will print them and stamp them and sign them, and then you will pay for your divorce decrees, and then you will include those divorce decrees, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or whatever. You got to include all of them in the I-129F application. And while you're at the clerk of the court's office, you may want to get copies certified copies for the 2-year green card application and also for the 10-year green card application. So if you've been divorced twice, you need 2 certified copies of the divorce decrees, signed by a judge, not by a magistrate, stamped and signed, and then as backup, get the clerk of the court's business card, okay, and include it with the K-1 visa application in a document protector with the certified divorce decrees. You got it? Let's see here. James, do you understand what I just said? You got to include all your prior divorce certificates, but they got to be certified copies. Okay? You can't just make photocopies at Office Depot or on your scanner on your computer at home. They got to be stamped and signed by the clerk of the court, or you will get them rejected. And then you must include certified copies of your divorce decrees for the visa interview. Certified copies, original, ink pen, wet inked, and dated. Craig Williams is happy you are adjusting to the United States. Francois, yes, I did schedule the interview for September 18th. I won't bother with the invoice number. No, Francois, that's why the NVC deleted your email, because they saw that you scheduled the visa interview. They're done. The NVC is done with you. USCIS is done with you. Now it's between you, Hamid, and the U.S. Embassy in Abu Dhabi. And you got it under control. September 18th, he gets his visa approved. You wait for his visa to get put in his passport, and then he flies to Morocco. You fly to Morocco. You hang out in Morocco together. You get lots of pictures with family and friends. You save the boarding passes and include all that in your 2-year green card application. You can't beat this information, right? This channel gives you the inside scoop on how to do this. I've saved so many people from messing up their visa applications you wouldn't believe. I've saved hundreds of people from big mistakes, bad mistakes, stupid mistakes. But I've been talking for 1 hour and 11 minutes. If you have any more questions, throw them at me. Or otherwise, I'm just going to go, I don't know, maybe we'll go grab a hamburger or something. Do you have any more questions? I think we got a commercial running, so I'll just wait for that to run. Bud Garcia, congratulations on your interview, Francois. Yeah, her interview is her fiance's interview is September 18th. And Francois, going to Morocco was your brilliant idea. I stewed on it and then I acted on the idea. Francois, it is very powerful evidence. If you just absolutely positively don't want to have to go through another visa interview in the United States, that showing that you went to Morocco and got pictures with his family, and you include it all in the K1 in the green card application for the 2-year green card, that's going to be the seal of delivery to help you avoid another interview for you and Hamid. And Francois says, thank you, Bud. And any questions, guys? I can keep talking. I mean, honestly, I've still got some Mountain Dew left. I can keep sending out Mountain Dew salutes all day. Craig Williams, great information. Diego, thank you. No problem. And remember, if you have a divorce, Mr. American citizen, 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter, however many, you got to have certified copies of the decrees. You cannot make a copy at Office Depot on a freaking photocopier and then give it to or email it to your beneficiary. Immigration, the embassy will not accept it. You're going to get into a 221G administrative hold. There was a person in Peru who was on the channel, and she asked me, I only have a photocopy of my sponsor's divorce decree. Do I need a certified copy? I said, yes. You got to have a certified copy. But she said, my visa interview is tomorrow. I said, well, it's impossible. You're not going to get it. It's impossible. Unless he gets on a freaking plane and flies to Peru and meets you at the airport and takes it to the visa interview in Peru, in Santiago. No, that's Chile. So she got a 221G. And then he had to get his certified divorce decree sent to her through FedEx. I think he sent it FedEx or DHL. Let me see here. More questions. I love it when I get questions. Francois, only thing I'm concerned is when the embassy asks him when was the last time you saw your fiancée. They may not ask that question. They may not ask him that question. Is it okay for him to say she'll be meeting me in Morocco and we will be flying together to the United States? Yeah. Here's what I would do, Francois. Here's what I would do. When you book your flight to Morocco, email Hamid a copy of your flight itinerary with your name on it, on the plane ticket, on the itinerary. You can send a copy of it to him via email, have him print it, and then he can bring that to the visa interview. And then if he asks the question, when was the last time you saw your beneficiary? He can say, well, she's flying to meet me in Morocco to spend time with me and my family before we fly to the United States. Send a copy of your flight itinerary to Hamid in the United Arab Emirates. Have him print it so he can bring it to the visa interview as evidence of your flight to go be with him. Okay? Craig Williams, have a great weekend. Enjoy your hamburger. Now, Craig's hungry. I'm hungry too. I'm hungry too. Karina's hungry. Bud Garcia, just be honest. Honesty is the best policy. Tammy, quick question. Diego, if there is a problem with the 221G, will the embassy contact the beneficiary? Well, the beneficiary is going to be at the visa interview, right? The beneficiary goes to the visa interview, so the beneficiary gets the 221G. So the beneficiary is the first person who's contacted if there's a 221G, if there's a problem, not the sponsor. Francois, we'll do eternal thanks to Karina and Diego. Mountain Dew salute to Francois. I'll quit talking when I run out of Mountain Dew. I still got a little bit to go right here. Okay? When I run out of Mountain Dew, I'll quit answering questions. Francois, send a copy of your flight itinerary to Hamid in UAE. Have him print it. Have him bring that to the visa interview. So if he gets that question, when was the last time you saw your beneficiary, your sponsor? You can say, well, she's been busy working, but she's going to meet me in Morocco, and she's going to accompany me to the United States after we spend some time with my family in Morocco. And then you're covered. That covers that question. And you got to prove it. You got to prove it with a flight itinerary and a copy of your credit card receipt where you paid for the plane tickets. Because anybody can make up a flight itinerary and print it. You got to prove proof of payment also. Tammy, thank you, no problem. It's so much cheaper, Francois. It's so much cheaper to fly to Morocco and get a hotel room than flying and staying in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, go hang out in Casablanca. Go eat some great Moroccan food. And talking about food, I'm sorry, but I'm hungry. So we'll be back on Monday. Karina said Monday in English. Give her a thumbs up for that. Bud Garcia, what form can I start filling out? It's the I-864. That's it, Bud Garcia. But don't do that until she gets to the United States. Bud Garcia, don't fill out any paperwork, nothing, nada, until your bride from Thailand gets to the United States. When you get married, then you start filling out the paperwork. And with that, I'm going to see you guys Monday.